This is a pear tree more than 50 years old. It's a mid-season Portuguese variety of very good quality, that stores well for a couple of months. So it's not a problem having several trees of the same variety, as the fruits will not spoil easily in storage. This early pear variety, on the other hand, it's a different matter. It's not very sweet, only refreshing. The central core of the pear stays hard until it's fully mature, and then the fruit spoils in a matter of days. I had 6 trees of this type of pear, and most of the fruit's final destination was the compost pile. So I decided to regraft them with other types of pears to put these trees to good use. I grafted varieties that mature later and have a much longer shelf life, effectively extending the pear season I previously had. Most of the regrafted trees have 2 or 3 different varieties. This one has 7 varieties, but I don't recommend it, as making sure all develop and produce well is a bit challenging. Despite the odd look of the tree and the problems it poses, I can't deny it's quite satisfying to have such fruit diversity in a single tree. To regraft an adult tree, it's best to cut down the main tree branches and graft them at the same time. Choose the best positioned main branches to graft. If possible, avoid grafting very wide branches, as these large wounds will take more time to heal, which might cause a few problems later on. Leave a couple of nurse branches so the tree can maintain a flow of sap if the grafts fail, and remove all other growth that may compete with the grafts. With a grafting knife, smooth the edges of the bark. Ideally, the rootstock should be just a couple of weeks from leaving dormancy. Using dormant scions that were stored in the fridge, you will make sure the rootstock flow of sap starts first, which is important for graft success. Several slightly different bark grafting techniques can be used to place the scions under the bark. Cambium contact is assured by the inside bevel cut in the scion, pressed against the cambium layer of the rootstock, which is located beneath the bark. Depending on your location, late winter or very early spring are the best seasons for this type of graft. An outside bevel can also be cut in the scion. This won't help with the cambium contact, but will allow a better fit of the scion. Choose similar flowering season varieties to achieve the best possible pollination results. Several tying materials can be used as long as they ensure enough pressure for a good cambium contact. When using tape, make sure to cover any entry points for water and air near the scions. Pruning paste can also be used to make sure no water enters between the bark and the scion. Covering the scions with parafilm or with a paper bag might help to prevent dehydration in some cases, but it's usually not essential so early in the season. The most important point is preventing rainwater from entering the graft. With thick barks, opening a small slit might be enough to ensure enough pressure to the scion, so tying will not be necessary. A few weeks after the grafts, the rootstock is waking up, and the scions are showing signs of bud swelling. The graft growth rate is usually slow at first in these older trees, but most of the grafts already have leaves. 4 main branches were grafted with a total of 8 grafts of 2 different varieties. All the grafts succeeded and are growing well at this stage. After 3 months, the tape is not necessary and can be removed. The tape and other covering materials will only harbor pests and unwanted moisture from this point on. Meanwhile, remove all rootstock growth. You should also reduce or remove growth in the nurse branch. Vigorous graft growth must be supported in the first year to avoid wind breakage. In the first winter, the grafts were left pretty much untouched. In the next spring, a tangled mess of new branch growth will delay the tree's definitive structure if left unpruned. Avoid competition by removing all the rootstock and old variety growth. Use different pruning techniques like thinning and heading to promote growth of the best positioned branches. To induce fruit buds and to concentrate energy in the definitive branches, summer pruning is a good option. For more information about summer pruning techniques, check the video description or the channel for links on specific videos on the subject. Two new varieties were grafted on branches of the old tree in the spring of 2020. Both grafts were successful. Ideally, all the varieties should be grafted at the same time. Since these last two varieties will face heavy competition by the established grafts, selective pruning will be needed so they have a chance to develop fully. First fruit development usually takes 3 or 4 years when a tree is regrafted. With adequate pruning, the grafts can produce a few earlier fruits in the second season. Nevertheless, to maximize graft development, it's usually a good idea to remove most of these fruits so a maximum amount of energy is directed to branch growth. I like to leave a few of these early fruits to have a rough idea of the new variety's potential. Beware that, in most situations, a few more years will be needed for a final assessment on each variety fruit quality and productivity. If you appreciate my work, like, subscribe, share the video and leave a comment to help me make more. Click the bell and turn on notifications on your device so you don't miss my next videos. Thanks for watching. Check the channel for more videos on grafting, pruning and rooting fruit trees.